Hey, what's up, YouTube? Corey Tilbrook here. I just got back today from the west side of Washington, where I was volunteering at the Cerberus Strength Natural Strongman West Coast Qualifier. It was hosted by Lake Washington CrossFit and Angelica Jardine. I'm super excited to have had the opportunity to be commentating with Zach McCarley at this event. Wonderful athletes, super enjoyed doing the commentating. It was my first time doing it, and I thought I'd go ahead and share some of the highlights. Let's get started.
Corey Tilbrook.
That is a monstrous jump, but
Yes.
you know, it is tricky. 705 looked a little tough for him. I do think if he hit 755, he would have felt like he left it on the bar.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to just shoot for the moon.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Sometimes you got to really put it out there, and I have a feeling that's what Sam wanted. He might have already won his division, and so with the 705 lift, so he may have been like, you know what, let's shoot, like let's go for it.
Yeah.
And he went for that 805, and one side of the bar started coming up, though.
I was going to say he did break the ground, so
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think something
Angelica
around the
Jardine,
755
everybody
would have
should know
definitely been
that.
a lift that he could
One of
do.
the strongest
Oh, yeah,
women
no,
in the world.
I just
Shout
think
out
he
to
would have hit it, and he
Angelica.
probably would have felt like, I should have went up.
I should have tried
you
for
know?
more. Yeah. It's a good place to be in when you know that you can shoot for the moon on your third attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on where you are in the placings, it's very strategic.
All kinds of different scoring. Like,
Yeah.
if they were power lifters, it'd be, well, we'll talk about it between. But, like, this is a different scoring system. We'll talk about it a little
Yeah,
bit later.
well-
Right now, we got Murph up with 855. So he is going 855.
So I had the pleasure of meeting Murphy.
There we go. He'll get
Murphy
this.
in
Yeah. He's
Ireland
just-
for Worlds, and I
he's
kept messing
calling
up
it-
his
he's
name
calling
and
it with
thinking
the
another athlete
PR.
was him. So
Very nice.
apologies to Murphy.
Very,
because
very nice. And that
you are
is
the only
a
Murphy,
16-inch
and I
PR
messed up
for
your name
sure.
multiple times.
Because I watched him not too long ago hit an 885 or 89. A huge shout out to all of our sponsors. Iron Panda, thank you so much for helping us with these super clean shirts. They're looking great and performing great. We haven't had any wardrobe mishaps yet. But for the people waiting for those, stay tuned because there's still time, right?
Yeah.
We also want to thank Cerberus Strength for providing some of the equipment here today, and also always just supporting the strongman community in every which way. You know, Cerberus is one of the largest supporters of the sport, and it's just cool to see. It's cool to see that kind of growth. So,
Absolutely. And we also have the Stimulated Mind. Don't forget about that. To check out that book. Dr. Tommy Wood, who's also competing in this event. So make sure you check out his book, The Stimulated Mind, Practical Guide for Building and Maintaining Brain Health.
dip and drive, because the longer you rest with that on your chest, the longer it's just going to be sitting there crushing you. So you really want to get that sucker off of your chest as quickly as you can.
She ended up with,
I think we just saw that demonstrated actually, as you were saying, in a lane 2.
Yeah, in lane 1, we have Sarah O'Brien just absolutely tossing this weight around. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That might be.
Looks like this is her favorite event, log press for reps.
I can see why. Holy cow.
I'm not even sure. I mean, it's a Viper press, but it doesn't even. She's just going straight into it. Very good.
This might be the most repetitions I've seen performed in a minute.
I believe so. And it's close. I mean, all of them are repping. I'm not even sure where we're at with reps right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the women were just crushing it at this event.
What do you have on lane?
Awesome job, Sarah.
All right. I don't know how.
Hey guys, we're back. We'll have my colleague here in just a few minutes, but I'm Corey Tilbrook, and it looks like we're getting started on the Odd Objects event. You can see in lane 2, we have Jackson Bow, and in lane 1, we have Kai. And for our weights on these, we've got lane 2, we have a keg for 200 pounds. They did the Cerberus sandball, looks like, for $225. And then a 250 Cerberus sandbag. And now $275 Husafel. And in lane 1, we have 100 pounds on a keg. We have a 100-pound square sandbag. And then a 125-pound Cerberus sandball. And a 150-pound Husafel sandbag. And you're going to see these weights kind of change as we go through the different weight classes. And they'll keep rising, of course, as we go through the different weight classes. But that's where we're starting right now. So it looks like lane 1, I believe, got through all of the implements, and lane 2 got through all but one of the implements. And we should have Jared Allman in lane 2 and Jacqueline Pareto in lane 1. Actually, I think she goes by a different name. That might be wrong on the sheet. It's Yaki, not Jackie. Sorry, Yaki.
You can see the awesome shirts that were created by Iron Panda that the athletes are wearing. Those were really cool shirts with all the sponsors on them, so that was pretty cool. That was one of the sponsors of this event.
So we got 2 implements on lane 2, and it looks like Yaki is about to get the final implement over in lane 1. There we go. All right, so Jared's working on a 250-pound sandbag. You can see he's trying to lap it, get it closer to the implement so he can load it over. Oh, come on, Jared. Oh, that's tough. All right. He's still got time. We'll see if he can get this third implement over. Oh, it looks like he's calling it. So that was a 250-pound sandbag. On lane 2, it looks like we didn't get that. We get to 2 implements, and on lane 1, Yaki got all 4 implements. Our next athletes coming up should be Tommy Wood, I believe, on lane 2. Oh, let's see what's going on.
Tommy Wood is a U92. I don't know if that matters.
So Tommy Wood, that's coming up in lane 2, is actually the author of The Stimulated Mind, which you can see in the image for one of the sponsors of the event. So he actually competed, which was pretty cool.
Ooh, hello.
Thanks for joining us, Gabby Dixon, everybody.
Hey guys.
Looks like they're just resetting up for our next athletes. Oh, it looks like we're also doing a weight change.
Oh, they must be moving to the next. What's next?
So I believe for the lane 1, we're moving into the middleweight under 73 kilo, and on lane 2, middleweight, or men, excuse me, under 105.
Amazing.
I don't have the weights in front of me, so I'll try to keep an eye on it, but it looks like we definitely have gone up because the third implement is a 250. Let's see where we're at here.
They struggled.
It was definitely a little tough keeping up with the weight changes and the name. The event ran really smooth and really fast, which made it even tougher. So we did the best we could keeping up with all the athletes' names again, but it was a bit tough at times. So let's get back to watch these competitors.
All right.
Nice.
All right, we have Jackie Reed on lane 1. And on lane 2, looks like we have Kobe Berman.
All right. Let's see what we got. Let's go, Jackie.
Kobe's training out of the gym Wasilla.
Jackie got that first one over, no problem.
No problem. That looks light.
Let's
She's
go,
throwing
Kobe.
at him.
Oh. Let's go. You got it. Okay, Jackie's already at number 3.
Yeah.
Jackie said, this ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
It's interesting with the line. I feel like the athletes are staying a little angled
They
versus
are.
facing the.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie said that was fine.
Yeah,
That's her shoulder
no
off.
problem.
Let's go, Kobe. You got it.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to move into the bear hug keg carry, and I think I kicked this one off.
All right, guys, I think we're back, and they're just finishing their setup. Or actually, we're getting ready to start with the athletes for the bear hug keg carry. So a little bit about this, you'll see there's a white line on the ground that they're using. They have to pick up and bear hug the keg, and they have to walk to the white line across the mats from where they are in their lane. They have to get at least 1 foot onto that line, and the judges will give them the go-ahead to turn around, and they got to keep doing this as long as they can. I'm not quite sure if there's a time limit on it. We'll see as we get through the first round. But it is who can go the furthest. If they set the keg down, then they are done with their carry. They might be able to lap the keg if they need to take a rest, but they should not be able to set it down. So let's see how this goes. On lane 1, it looks like, I'm assuming, yep, this is still lane 1. We've got Kai. And on lane 2, this should be Jackson.
AJ and Nick reminded me 13 years ago, this was one of the events I had. And Nick,
they're just finishing up some announcing here, and then we'll get started with the round. So just once again, we are at Watts Brewing Company in Woodinville, Washington. So make sure you guys come and check it out. If you're in the neighborhood, there's still this event, one other event to go, or come out and just get some food. Check out the brewery here. It's been a pretty cool place to do this event. The athletes are ready to go, anxiously awaiting. All right, looks like we're getting started.
All right. Let's get behind Kai and Jackson, everybody.
All right.
75 seconds, judges. 75 seconds, okay? Judges ready?
Oh, they get 75 seconds, it sounds like, to go as far as they can. So no drops, 75 seconds. They have to go down to the line, wait for the judges' approval to turn, and then go back and forth. Oh, she's running. There we go. Kai's making easy work of this in lane 1. Jackson's moving pretty smooth in lane 2. Good pace. You're probably going to see different methods with the athletes. Some athletes might move fast, depending on their athletic ability, but then you got to think about wearing yourself out. So it's also smart to pace yourself as you go through. So you're going to see different things. So it looks like in lane 2, the keg is down, so they'll now measure that distance, but Kai is still going in lane 1. And you can see she's lapping it, taking a quick break, and getting another lap in. Oh, it looks like she's still going. Well, I've lost count of the laps that she's got. She's been going the entire 75 seconds. And it looks like they're using a 100-pound keg in lane 1. So she is finally down. She went the entire time. They're just going to reset for
Harry, he did it well.
So Zach's
It's
joined
tough
me
to
again.
end on these corners. I'll
It
say
is.
that. 'cause,
It's a lot of turning.
you know, what do you think of ending on corners? Is there anything that the athletes could do to maybe get more distance?
I'm a big advocate for this. Is something, I mean, I'm obviously newer compared to some of these athletes that are competing and some of the elite athletes, but one thing that I have tried to do is push myself around the corners. Like I've learned that even just a few more steps can make the win for that event and make a huge difference. So I agree. I don't like stopping on the corners, especially on distance events. Obviously, you got to factor in your safety and know your body. So if it's dropping and you can't do it, which is why it was interesting for the back stepping. I don't know if I would move backwards because I might be a little worried about my footing, but that allowed him to, if he was losing his grip, to get just a few extra inches back or feet. So I absolutely am a big advocate for pushing the even if it's one step.
I completely agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, that was it. It
No.
was a real high pitched ending.
No, I completely agree, and I think that a step and pivot and drop is like a really good way to make sure that you don't end up on those corners, because we are seeing a lot of athletes ending up on corners, which means inevitably someone's going to tie.
Yep.
And when you can step, cross the line, pivot, and drop in field, it means that you actually get credited with the turn plus some.
Yep. That could make or break a tie in your favor, so it's huge. We got a nice, really low grip on lane 1 for this one. But he's also very tall, and I imagine has good arm span around it.
Yeah, he's got a really firm grip around that. That's going to be nice and fun. He's also got it nice and high on his torso, which, if held correctly, is going to put a lot less pressure on his midline. He's going to be able to carry it more with the legs and the hips instead of the low back.
We were talking about breathing technique. I notice he's really pacing his breathing as he does this. Any thoughts on that?
He's breathing hard already, though. I'm seeing that he's working real hard and he's willing to work hard. I honestly think he might have come out a little too hot, but that's okay. If at a certain point it is the body giving out, and at another point it's the mind giving out, and so you got to pace yourself to where you're not completely redlined really early, but where you're willing to redline in the last 10, 15 seconds and then stay there for a while.
It's something I've struggled with. I actually think a lot of us, we do leave, even though we're pushing and we're getting PRs, we're leaving something on the table a lot of times, because if I'm not blacking out or falling or losing it, I probably have more in me, and that's hard to achieve.
Yeah.
It's hard to push yourself to that limit. So
Absolutely.
But I think that's strongman. I really do. Those are the athletes that, really you start seeing that grit at the very end. So, totally agree.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these two. In lane 1, we got Andrew Campbell. In lane 2, we have Yanir.
So the final event was the Denny walk to a Denny stone hold. So I'm going to kick this one off. I think Zach was getting interviewed on the MC mic while I was kicking off this event. But I'll explain here in a second what this event was and what rules the athlete will have for completing the event. So let's check it out.
All right, guys, we are getting ready to come back here. It looks like we're going to start soon with the Denny walk to max hold. They're just giving the athletes a little bit more information. We'll have Zach joining us here in a minute. But you can see Zach's getting interviewed right now. So this will be interesting because the Denny walk, they're going to have to walk the Denny's down to the line, and you'll see that here in a minute when the athletes start. And they have to max hold once they get to the line. They do not get to re-grip, so they're going to have to go straight from the walk into the hold. And grip is super taxing on Denny holds if anybody's done it. So this should be interesting. See how the athletes do. We'll give them just another minute or so here while they get ready for the athletes to come out. While we're waiting, though, I do want to talk about our sponsors again. So Cerberus Strength, we talked about them a few times. Huge supporter of the Strongman group. A lot of the equipment, seen a lot of Cerberus Strength equipment here, not only for the competition itself, but for the athletes. Elbow sleeves, knee sleeves, straps, belts, underbelts, sandbags, everything you can think of. They're definitely a great supporter of Strongman. Make sure you check them out, Cerberus Strength.
Here today, and also always just supporting the Strongman community in every which way. Cerberus is one of the largest supporters of the sport, and it's just cool to see. It's cool to see that kind of growth. So,
absolutely. And we also have the Stimulated Mind. Don't forget about that. Check out that book. Dr. Tommy Wood, who's also competing in this event. So make sure you check out his book, The Stimulated Mind.
Nice.
Jacqueline's already moving. She's moving pretty quick.
Yeah, straight to the line, opting for a side-by-side hold. And personally, I do prefer knuckles either out or forward when I'm holding a Denny ring like this. You can see both of the athletes. Jackie's taking a knuckles forward, and we have Connor having the knuckles out.
I definitely feel like that would have been more taxing on the grip to have the forearms
supinated
out.
Yeah, the palm forward.
I mean, she held it for a really long time.
She did,
it seemed like it would be more taxing.
Yeah, looking at those times for the lightweight women, we had 2 athletes in that division, the 57 and under, and both of them held it for longer than 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's insane.
Like,
Jackie
yeah.
looks really focused in lane 1.
Yep, she got to lock it in. Lock it in.
Good, Jackie. Come on.
I was just talking about as you were stepping away for a second that it's all about the focus on this. This is definitely one where you don't want to get in your own head. You want to find a focal point. Some people close their eyes, but you kind of have to go somewhere else when you're doing these these timed events that are taxing on your grip.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with you.
Solid. She's a good passer. Hands look solid.
She seems comfortable.
This event is crazy because it makes you feel like your arms are getting another 6 inches longer.
In that position that we saw earlier, where we've only seen one athlete, I believe that was Kai, that went into the Denny Stone. That's the typical position that you do a pick for a Denny Stone when you have the actual natural stone with the Denny rings.
Yeah.
But that's difficult to walk in. So
Absolutely.
would you? It seemed to work well for her. But if you were training an athlete and they had to do a 10-foot walk, would you suggest? Again, I think you said the least amount of movement, the better. Stay in that side-by-side position.
Honestly, I would have to experiment with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I also think it depends on the athlete, but I am biasing towards just keeping it on the sides.
Yeah. Do you imagine there's an advantage to it laying on your calf muscles?
I do. I do think that there's a certain amount of maybe you get a little bit of friction on the sides of the calves that are beneficial. And
Jackie seems really focused, and I believe we're over the 2-minute mark.
yeah, she's really moving.
This is the longest time anyone has held a Denny
So
race
we
so
are
far.
over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're over
Wow.
2:30. Yeah.
Wow.
Because Grant just announced that that's the longest hold that we've seen today, and we did see a 2:38 from Kai earlier. She held it as long as she could. Wow, that was fantastic. She might have made it to 3 minutes. Okay.
To see who of these 2 ladies are going to Scotland in August.
So Grant is just re-illustrating the point that not both of these athletes get to qualify for Worlds in Scotland this August. Whoever wins this is the one that gets to qualify for that competition. The other one is just left tough luck.
This is a 150-pound Mischief Strongman.
After 5 events of taxing every element, this is going to be tough, but these are tough ladies.
Yeah.
Just threw that over.
Who's going to punch the ticket to Glasgow, Scotland? In mid-August.
Ooh. Second pick for Yaki actually looked better. There is, it appears that there's a physical height and weight discrepancy. It's because there is, but that's fine.
And you never know.
Yeah, that's fine, man. You never know. Like, it ain't about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. I
Wrap
think
it up.
that'll be about it. I was told we're not streaming the awards, so I guess that is about it.
Yeah.
Just thank you to everyone for tuning in. And anything else to add before we sign off here?
It's been a pleasure doing this with you all day.
Likewise.
Thank you all.
Yep, thank you for watching. This is Zach McCarley.
Corey Tilbrook. See you guys later.
Catch you next time.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed some of the highlights from the live stream. I am super excited they got to commentate. I got to give a big thank you to Mischief Media Studios. They're the ones that hosted the live stream, did all the technical stuff. They were fantastic. For this being my first time commentating, it was just super nice to work with them. Everything ran super smooth. They did some handheld filming. They did the regular filming. I thought the live stream was really high quality. So big shout out to them. Thank you so much for your patience with me. Thanks for everything you did to make the live stream possible for everybody to watch. Also, Nick Dewing from Lake Washington CrossFit and Angelica Jardine for the promoting this event. I thought it ran fantastic. I love Watts Brewery as a backdrop for it. It was amazing. Ran super smooth. Lots of sponsors, great sponsors, and I think they really took care of their athletes at this event. So, Natural Strongman, also great corporation. I'm super excited to be competing in it myself. All these wonderful competitors that placed with a qualification for Worlds. I hope to see you guys in Scotland in August. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to do many more commentatings of live streams going forward. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.